headmaster, I often have to tell families seeking admission that we're not a school that's interested in a checklist mentality. Instead, we're looking to form in our students a personal investment in their education so that they take the questions that arise in class and they take them to heart. And they honestly wrestle with the ideas that they encounter. One of 3 graduating seniors this year, Mary Greca, our student keynote speaker, is just such a student. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mary Greca.
Good evening, everyone. Prior to attending Chesterton Academy, I thought that I had everything I needed. And the last thing that I thought I needed was to attend a small school without any of my friends. I thought that learning was a waste of time. I thought that we learned to go to college, and we go to college to get a full-time job. I had no interest in getting a full-time job, so why did I need to learn? I had never even considered the idea of learning for its own sake. And my faith was dry. I loved God and all that, but all that wasn't much. I did not have a good understanding of my faith and how to be the virtuous Catholic that God was calling me to be. But I was happy enough going through the motions, or so I thought. I also had no idea what true friendship consisted of. I cared a lot about what my friends, or the people I thought to be my friends, thought of me. And Chesterton was not something they thought was at all cool. But cool doesn't mean virtuous. And if friendships are not based on virtue, then they lead you into vice. But now I know that I am better for the friends that I have made here. And I am aware of the changes they have brought about in me. They have helped me to grow in virtue, and I hope I have helped them to grow in virtue as well. Now I have a great zeal for the faith, and a more personal relationship with our Lord and Lady. And I now love to learn. I love studying poetry, history, philosophy, and the faith. I am able to think more clearly because I have been taught the most useful skill that a person can have: logic, which is the art of reasoning well. It all started in philosophy class, when we were examining the nature of wisdom. After much discussion, we concluded that wisdom is a knowledge of the ultimate causes of the universe. Aristotle says that all other forms of knowledge are more useful, but none are better. Why would Aristotle say that wisdom is the best form of knowledge if it is the least useful? If usefulness does not make it the best, then what does? My philosophy teacher always told me to do things for their own sake, which took me a long time to understand. I remember one time in particular, he asked me if I was coming to an open house over the weekend. What would I get out of doing that? I asked him. He looked at me in disappointment and asked why I couldn't simply do it for its own sake. But we do not pursue wisdom for the sake of gaining anything other than wisdom itself. It is the same with learning. It is important to learn for the sake of simply learning, or recollecting. Along with wisdom, we learn about logic. With logic, you learn how to think well, which, unlike wisdom, is the most useful type of knowledge, because you cannot do anything at all without thinking. Since going to this school, I have noticed a difference in my reasoning skills, an ability to answer questions, and read difficult works. I ask questions I never would have before, and when I visited a college this last fall, I sat in on some of the classes and was able to follow along with the teacher's lectures, even though I had little to no prior knowledge of the subject that day. This gift of logic was a great gift. There is something particularly satisfying in that moment when all of the information clicks, and you come to a certain knowledge that you did not possess before. And that is something no one can take away from you. But reason can only take you so far. In order to achieve virtue, you need not only reason, but faith as well. High school is the age at which people start to decide what to believe and what not to believe. So it is extremely important to have a solid Catholic education. Chesterton starts each morning with Mass and an opportunity to go to confession. Receiving the sacraments gives me this serenity and strength throughout the day. And that's just the beginning. Then we have classes. The faith is tied into each class, not only theology and philosophy, but history, science, literature, and the arts. In class with Dr. Warnock, we are always discussing history's events and relation to the faith. Earlier this year, we discussed the foundation of our nation, and we talked about the ideals on which it was formed, and whether those ideals were actually moral, which is something I never thought about when I learned about early American history as a child. Part of having a solid Catholic education is not only the curriculum, but the community as well. The community at Chesterton Academy is built on faith. We go to Mass together. We sing praises to God together. We pursue the truth together. I got to know the majority of my friends by discussing the matters of the faith with them, both inside and outside of class. When you build your friendships in this environment, this culture of vitae, your friendships are strong, lasting, fruitful. The purpose of friendship is to help each other grow in virtue, which is not found amongst most teenage communities, especially at high schools. Along with this faith, one of the aspects that distinguishes Chesterton apart from other schools is the joy of the students. You can see that joy when you walk through the halls. You can hear it in their laughter. Of course, not everyone is joyful every day. But on those bad days, there are always people there to help you. I remember one day that I was completely exhausted and overwhelmed. It was finals week of the first semester, and I had 3 tests that day. I was in tears by the second period. During the last period, music, we sang Luli Lula Lule, which is a lullaby to the Holy Innocents, the children who died for Jesus. I lost it once again and broke into sobs. But my sister Raina was there for me, and I cried on her shoulder. Elena did my cleaning for me so that I could get my things together and go home. Veronica gave me a hug, and Faith told me she was there for me if I ever needed her. And I have seen them do the same for other students. I believe I have built friendships that I will keep for my whole life. I know they're always there for me, and I hope that they know that I'm always there for them. I believe that people, particularly joyful people, are the most beautiful things on earth. For humans are built in the image and likeness of God, who is beauty itself. Thus, Chesterton Academy of the Immaculate Heart has changed me by giving me a love of wisdom, a desire to pursue it for its own sake, and the ability of reasoning well, so that I might discover truth. It has also given me a greater zeal for my faith. Without this school, I would not properly understand my faith, nor would I care for it as I do now. This school has taught me the beauty of people and the goodness of true friendship. St. Thomas Aquinas said, "There is nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship." Encountering the people I have, and learning not only from the teachers, but the students as well. I view the world differently than I did. I see the beauty in things I did not before. I can see the beauty in poetry, the beauty in music, the beauty of God reflected in nature, and I can see the beauty in people. I know that the things I've learned at this school will aid me not only in college, where I will continue my pursuit of truth, but for the rest of my life. Thank you.